Oh my gosh, you guys, what's up? It's me, Modest Pie, back again with another video for Switchblade. And excuse me, guys, I'm a little sick. I feel a little sick, so my voice is probably not gonna be as epic as it could be. Also, if I have to cough, I'll try and cough that way, so you guys don't have to hear me cough, and then I'll mute it out and edit. Excuse me, guys. It's just, unfortunately, that's the thing at the moment. I have a little flu or something. That being said, yes, you read right. This is the new series that I'm going to be starting, is the Pokemon trading card game tutorial series. Why am I doing this? Well, so you guys probably saw that I did a live stream a while ago with Roybart, and then I did another one with Nintendo Night. We did a little Pokemon TCG. It was just an experiment on my end. Yeah, we had a little fun there. Unfortunately, the internet was really iffy. It didn't end up doing that good. Like, we had a lot of drop frames, etc. But that's regardless. I just really want to get something out. Yeah, I had a bunch of requests after those live streams regarding how do you play Pokemon TCG. So I decided to make this tutorial series on that. So what makes me the authority on Pokemon TCG? Now, I'm not the authority on Pokemon TCG. Let me tell you that from the get-go. But I do have 22 years worth of Pokemon trading card game experience. Not 22 years consecutively, but 22 years ago, when the first Pokemon trading card game decks came out, I played the game. I got a deck from a friend of mine. It was the Zap deck back in the day. It was a Psychic Electric deck. Contained Pikachu and Mewtwo, which were two of my favorite Pokemon, and I was just enamored. I just wanted to play this game all the time. I played it against my sisters, I played it at school, I played it everywhere I could. I eventually even went to the Trading Card Game League. I never won the league, but I was there. I even went as far as getting a Charizard first edition card, but dumbass me, not knowing what it was worth, traded it for a Jungle Blastoise. Yeah, it haunts me. It really haunts me, because that card was, whoa, man. I mean, you guys know what a Charizard's worth now, first edition. Anyway, shout out to Frontshaw if you're watching this video. Dude, thanks for setting me on a road to, like, awesome geeky things. I've been playing trading card games since then, and it's a lot of fun. So let's dive in, guys. Pokemon, what is it? Pokemon trading card game basically is a game where you go and you sit and you use a deck of cards and you play against another person or trainer in this universe to determine who is the best at the end of the day. And you try and defeat this person with various maneuvers and things that you can do in the game. Like, the main way you can defeat the guy is obviously attacking him with your Pokemon, and we'll get a little into that at some point, but then there are other ways that you can win as well, which we will discuss later on. The point is, it's basically like the anime. You go, you sit, you shuffle your cards, and then you start attacking each other, and then eventually, if you knock out enough Pokemon, you win. It's as simple as that. Now, back in the day, the classic format when I started playing was a little strange. Not a little strange, it was obviously new, so... But the ratios for the decks have since changed a little bit. Now, I'm not sure about the new ratios 100%, but I think that it's still a healthy thing to exercise to understand where this game came from, and then you can base your deck upon that, or that basic deck building guideline. Back in the day, you would have anything from 22 to 34 energy cards in your deck, depending on how energy heavy your deck was. Putting too many energy cards in your deck obviously meant that you had less trainer cards to play, so you had to put more Pokemon, and you would be more reliant on Pokemon. Putting too little energy cards into your deck meant that you would be focusing a lot on trainer cards, using these trainer cards to try and defeat your opponent. The ratio, like I said, 22 to 34 energy cards. Back then, there was around, I think it was 7 to 14 trainer cards, depending, and then the rest of this deck would be Pokemon. A healthy ratio back then would be 4 basic Pokemon, 2 middle tier Pokemon, and then 1 evolved Pokemon. This has changed, guys. Nowadays, guys are rocking 2 or 3 basics, 2 mid tier, and 2 top tier Pokemon. It's weird. Things have changed, definitely. That's the basics of the deck building thing. Now, we'll go a little bit into detail around deck building when I get into the deck building video. But for now, I just want to focus on the different types of cards that there are and what you can do with them and what they're for. So for now, obviously, like I said earlier, this game is about Pokemon. So what do you need? You need Pokemon. And over here is our first Pokemon card. It is a Pikachu. And as you can see, this Pikachu has a symbol at the top left, which says this is a basic Pokemon card. So these are cards that you can place on the mat whenever. They don't evolve from anything. They're the base type Pokemon. You do get cards, let me see if I can get through my deck here, that are evolved Pokemon that are also basic Pokemon, but those are very, very, very rare cards usually. For instance, I've got this Charizard here, which is an EX, and it's also a basic card. So I can play this card just like that. I don't have to evolve it. But usually what you would get is you would get your base Pokemon. So this is, like I said, a Pikachu card. Pikachu obviously evolves into Raichu. But let's have a little look at all the nuances of this card. So if you have a look at this card, it has the name of the Pokemon right there at the top. It says this is a basic card, and then this has 60 HP. What does 60 HP mean? Basically, it means that Pikachu has 60 hit points. Now, if you have a look at what's written on the middle of the card here, these are the attacks that this Pokemon can perform. Obviously, each Pokemon has its own attacks. Like Charizard here has its own attack. These attacks obviously cost energy to perform, but we'll get back to that. Pikachu has 60 hit points, which means that if I have a Pokemon that does 60 damage to Pikachu, Pikachu's dead, and I throw him away. It's as simple as that. Well, he faints. Remember, this is Pokemon. Pokemon don't die, they faint. That's a little harsh for them to die. And then if you have a look at the middle portion of the card, there's some statistics. Number 25, mouse Pokemon, height, weight, etc., etc. And then in the middle of the card, you have the attacks, which the first attack says Nuzzle. It says flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. And then the second attack says quick attack. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 10 more damage. And then at the bottom of the card, what we see there is we have weakness and resistance. So Pikachu is weak to fighting type and is resistant to steel type. And then there's a retreat cost at the bottom left corner. And if you have a look at the right hand side, it has little something written there about the Pokemon. It says it's a Pokedex entry. It says it raises its tail to check its surroundings. The tail is sometimes struck by lightning in this pose. And then right at the bottom, it says number 42 of 146. Now that means that it's the 42nd card out of this specific release, and there's a circle next to it. That circle says this Pokemon is common. And then there's a little heart symbol next to that, which means that it's from a specific release. I don't know what the heart symbol means. I don't know which release that was. Back in the day, the releases used to sit here on the right-hand side in the middle of the card. They moved it to there now. So a rare card is denoted by a star. So if you have a look at the right bottom there, see there's a star there. That basically means that this is a rare card. And an uncommon card, that's an uncommon card. See, it has this little diamond at the bottom. That's an uncommon card. Okay, those are the three types of cards you get. Now, obviously, then you get your mythicals and your ultra rares, etc., etc., and your full art rares. But the point is, common, uncommon, rare. Usually the cards get better the rarer they are. They also get more expensive, by the way. Alright, back to the Pokemon card. 60 hit points. It's an electric type. It's resistant to fighting, which means that if this Pokemon is attacked by a fighting Pokemon, or it's weak to fighting, you basically take twice the damage. So if a Geodude was to attack this Pikachu, because there is no ground type in Pokemon TCG, there's only fighting type, Pikachu would take twice the damage. So a Geodude doing 30 damage would effectively knock out Pikachu. However, if a Steelix was to attack Pikachu, it would take 20 less damage. Obviously, if it does 10 damage, it does negative 10 damage, meaning no effective damage was done. Cool. So those are the basic ideas around attack damage and how you apply them on the different types. Let's say I want to use this Pokemon to do an attack. Well, basically, a Pokemon needs an energy card attached to it, and we'll go around how the game rounds work at some point as well in a future video. But basically, this Pokemon would need an energy card attached to it to do an attack. So if you put an energy card on this Pikachu, this is an electric energy, by the way. Okay, attach it to the Pikachu. This Pikachu can now do Nuzzle. Because this card here, this symbol here, says colorless, I can attach any card or any color to this Pokemon and do Nuzzle. And then flip a coin if heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. We'll get to statuses at some point as well in future. Basically, this attack just requires one energy. That's what it boils down to. Just for the sake of interest. I can attach a fire energy to this Pikachu as well, because quick attack requires 2 colorless energy. Now I can do quick attack. So if I do a quick attack, it says flip a coin. If heads, the attack does 10 more damage. So I will do what that attack says. Obviously, this damage is applied to the opponent's active Pokemon, and we'll get to what an active Pokemon is at some point in future as well. I know you guys are probably at this point in time still like, what? But just trust me, we'll get there, guys. You guys are going to be playing this game pretty soon. Pretty awesome. Anyway, guys, that is the basics of a basic Pokemon, obviously. And then this retreat cost, that is something that you will use when you're playing an actual match. Let's say, for instance, Pikachu is my active Pokemon. So just like in a real Pokemon match, you can have Pokemon on your bench and then an active Pokemon. So you can have Pokemon basically on your belt, if you want to call it like that. So you can throw out these Pokemon as you want to, like in the anime, or and you'll have one that's actively battling. However, you cannot just throw a Pokeball out or put one from your bench into the fight. There is a cost involved in the Pokemon TCG. In this case, it's going to be 1 colorless energy. So if I wanted to retreat this Pokemon to send in another Pokemon to do the battling for me, I would have to throw away an energy card and exchange that Pokemon with this Pokemon. But we'll get to that, like I said, at some future point. Now guys, here's how evolution works in the Pokemon TCG. Why would you want to evolve a Pokemon? Because they get stronger and they get better. It's not always the evolved Pokemon that are worth it though. Sometimes the baby Pokemon actually have things that you want to use. There's especially like abilities. The basic rules of evolving a Pokemon is if you put down a Pokemon, on the first round that you put down a Pokemon, you cannot evolve it. And then you can only evolve it once every round. So in other words, on your first round, you're not going to be able to evolve Pikachu. If you just dropped Pikachu on the board or on the field, you're not going to be able to evolve it. However, the next round, you are going to be able to evolve it. I have a Raichu card here that basically says it's a stage 2 Pokemon. See, it's no longer a basic, and then it says it evolves from Pikachu. So Raichu evolves from Pikachu, and then it is a level 40 with 100 HP, and it has a bunch of different attacks. Still weak to fighting, still resistant to steel, still has 1 energy retreat cost. However, it has different attacks now. And you'll see that these attacks have different costs. Like Energize, for instance, requires 1 electric energy. Sorry guys, I see that the focus is out there. Energize requires 1 electric energy. And then it says, attach an electric energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon. So we'll get to what the discard pile is, but that's a really powerful ability right there because you're able to regenerate basically energy that you would have lost otherwise. But you have to have 1 electric energy to do this attack. Then we have Spark Bolt, which says you may discard all energy attached to this Pokemon. If you do this attack, does 70 more damage. That is pretty hectic for this Pokemon. Considering you only need 3 energy cards, basically 2 of which need to be electric, and you can do 140 damage. That's pretty amazing. So if this was a real battle and I was battling with this Pokemon, if I had 3 energy cards attached and 2 of those was electric, I'd be able to throw away those cards for them. That's what the card says, and I'll be able to do 140 damage. Not always worth throwing away your energy cards. Depends on what your deck build is, and it depends on what your situation is. But I mean, that's strategy. Probably discuss some strategy at some point as well in the future. Anyway guys, that's the basics of the Pokemon cards. Now obviously we discussed the energy cards. You get different types of energy. Like I said, you get electric, fire, fairy, dark, water, psychic, grass, fighting. I don't like fighting, to be honest. Fire, I think those are those. Steel, damn it. There's a bunch of types, but basically, just like in the Pokemon games, Pokemon have different weaknesses for different types. Don't think that a water Pokemon is automatically going to be weak against grass or automatically going to be weak against electric. You have to physically check. And a Pokemon is usually not weak to more than one type. It's something that you have to keep in mind when you play this game. Now, the second type of card that you're going to be familiarizing yourself, or third type, fourth, fifth, I don't know. Anyway, is a trainer card. Now you get different types of trainer cards. The basic one is called an item. Now item cards you can play whenever you want during your round. This thing you can just put it out, put it into the discard pile, do what it says, and then everybody moves on and everybody's happy. Basically this level ball says search your deck for a Pokemon with 90 HP or less, reveal it and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. So it says also at the bottom there, it says you may play as many trainer cards as you like during your turn before an attack. That's the important thing. You cannot play a trainer card after you've done an attack. Attacking is the last thing you do in your round. We'll get around, like I said, to how you play a round at some point in time future. Anyway, so that's the basic trainer ball. These things can save your ass a lot because like you get pretty awesome trainer cards. For instance, let's see here. There's a different type. It's called a supporter card. Now, what's the difference? Obviously, at the top right there, it says supporter. This is also a trainer card. The thing is, with supporter cards, you can only play them. You can only play 1 supporter card per round. So if you play the supporter card this round, that's it. You're not allowed to play any more supporter cards. You can play items obviously still, but your supporter cards, nope, you're done. You can see why, because this card is pretty powerful. It says draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand, and it also says at the bottom there you may only play one supporter card during your turn before your attack. Quite interesting. Just read the cards basically and it'll explain to you what you do. The last type of trainer card that I want to show you guys is stadium cards. So what's a stadium card? The stadium card is a card that you put into play, and if it's there, it basically stays there the entire match until somebody plays a card that gets rid of it or replaces it with another stadium card. So a stadium card you'd put down and you'd keep it in play for the remainder of the match until obviously somebody gets rid of it. Also a trainer card, and here it says, for instance, Sky Arrow Bridge says the retreat cost of each basic Pokemon in play is 1 colorless less. And then if you look at the bottom it says, this card stays in play when you play it. Discard this card if another stadium card comes into play. If another card with the same name is in play, you can't play this card. So you can't have two Sky Arrow bridges. I mean, it doesn't make sense, right? Why would you even want to do that? Because there's some cards that say throw cards away. Anyway, don't question the method to the madness. Thing is, just know that that's a stadium card. Usually these cards have effects on the current round or the current battle that you are in. You get awesome cards. I think Blaine has a stadium card. I don't remember what it was back in the day. You get cards that say remove HP or damage from specific types, etc, etc. Those are the basics, guys. This is the basics. This is how you used to play it back in the 90s, except for the supporter cards. We had stadiums, we had items, we had basics, we had energies, we had evolutions. Things have changed since then. I am not going to go into too much detail around what exactly everything has changed, but I'm going to mention just one thing. For instance, now Pokemon have abilities instead of attacks. An ability is something that you can activate, well, based on whatever the Pokemon card says. We'll get into some of that a little later on though. So guys, like I said, those are the basics. Let me just show you all the cards here again that we had. We had Pikachu, evolved Raichu, we had the energy cards, and then we had our trainer cards, our Arrow Bridge, we had the item, we had the supporter. Those are the basic cards. This is what you build your deck off of. And yeah, I hope you guys found this interesting. Going forward, I will be addressing a few more advanced topics, and then we'll get into how does a game round look, and then eventually we'll actually play a round against somebody else, and you guys can see how that works. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys had a lot of fun looking into this tutorial. Please don't run away. I know it seems a little complex, but take a step back. I hope you guys have fun nonetheless. I've been Modest Spy for Switchblade. Over and out. Have a good one. Cheers.